Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brandon from Audio Addiction. As always, thank you for watching this series. I'm very excited for it to come out. I'm excited to show you guys what I got cooking up. But I wanted to give a huge shout out to Sam. I asked him really last minute. I literally just asked him spur of the moment, and he took up the challenge, and so I wanted to give him a shout just before this video started. His band's releasing a new record in May. They are called the Atlantis Theorem, and I'm super stoked that he was able to interview me. He had some really great questions, and I was excited to answer them, and hopefully you guys will kind of get a glimpse into who I am as an individual. Like I said, I was really surprised with some of the questions he had asked, and it was just a really good time overall. So hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll watch the whole thing and get something out of it. But thank you guys for watching, and without further ado, here's the video, guys. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. This is the first inaugural episode of Backstage Press. I've done 10 so far. No, I've done 9 so far, and this will be the 10th. But this is the first episode. I figured instead of me talking in front of the video camera like I typically do, I figured I'd have somebody else interview me, because I don't know why I asked Sam to interview me and he said yes, so I'm glad he did. Go check out his band Atlantis Theorem. I'll leave links below to go check out his stuff. But this is going to be basically the new format. I'm very stoked on it. I'm excited for everybody to check it out once it goes live. It's going to be going out Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of like press people, managers, music YouTubers, all this sort of stuff. Very excited. And thanks again to Sam. So Sam, what questions you got for me? He's been cooking them up, so I'm curious what he's got going in the pot right now. So what do you got for me, Sam?
I'm sitting on a few, and I got a pencil ready.
Oh, so
the inspiration strikes.
The inspiration.
So my biggest question, and I feel like I've always had this, but what got you interested in doing YouTube? Because I've been interested in doing podcasts.
Sure, yeah. You have the podcast voice. We talked about this.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've been we're trying to kind of move that stuff forward, but it's also essentially everything that my band does is as a band, so it's all a little bit difficult. But what got you interested in YouTube specifically as a medium?
Oh, okay. That's a great question, because I don't think I answered it. I'd done one interview prior to this one, but this one feels the most like I'm going to be able to answer it better than I feel like now again. But what got me into YouTube? So unironically, I was watching Brian Starr's interviews, and I just thought, God, he looks so rigid. Like, there's just something about this guy that I just, no offense to him, I don't know what he's doing with his life now, but I was just like, something about him just doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel like the bands really, give a crap about what he's talking about, and they just did it because they're just like, oh, free PR, we like that, and it's going on YouTube, so that's also nice. So that was like my first interaction with it, but I'll be honest, that wasn't the reason why I joined YouTube. So I was a senior in my last year of college, so I graduated from a university, and I got my bachelor's in marketing. I don't want to specify where it is, because just in case somebody docks me and finds out where I live, we're not gonna it's not gonna aid my cause whatsoever. But I remember sitting in one of the break rooms, and I was waiting for my next class, and I was just like, what do I want to do? I feel like any college kid knows that type of struggle of like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, what's going to happen and all that stuff. So I was just like, you know what? I really love music. I've always really enjoyed it. It's always been something of a passion of mine. And I was just like, what am I going to do? I was like, I should just start a YouTube channel. That would be great. I'm like, what is it going to be called? Like, what am I going to talk about? And I was just like, I think it's got to be music focused. I just don't really know what I want to do per se. I knew I wasn't like the best public speaker at the time. So I was just like, maybe it might not be interviews. Like, I maybe would find another way to kind of like incorporate YouTube in there. But I my first thought was like not interviewing bands, was like not like at the forefront. So I had asked a school friend of mine to like come up with like a logo and stuff, and he came up with this like like it wasn't great. It was not the best logo. Like we did what we could, and I shout outs to my friend Darius from college. He made it up for me because I had no idea how to use Photoshop or anything, and so I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Like this is really awesome. Like it's something I'm really stoked about. Like who am I gonna ask? And I was just like, I don't know anybody in the industry, and I know how hard it is to get in the industry. So I was just like, I'll just do it. We're just gonna do it. Whatever happens, happens. If I like wind up closing it out in the year, it's fine. So then I ironically asked four of my friends that were all music fans and still are to come on, and we were going to do like a podcast thing where we had like four people on. We all talked about, different like current events. Like I'd come up with like a list and be like, this is what we're going to talk about for the week. These are all the headlines that I was able to find. We can all talk about it, and then I'll post the thing. And we did that for like 35 episodes or something like that, which wasn't too bad. And then kind of reality struck where my one friend Chris, still has a YouTube channel, and he does like more pop culture stuff, so like Star Wars. He does like a lot of nerdy stuff, so he wanted to focus on that, which I totally respect. My other friend Dan, he was a Twitch streamer, still does streaming now, kind of on and off, and he was like, oh well, I want to do my Twitch stream. I don't really I love this music, but I don't care for it in the way you care for it. So I was like, fine, no problem. And then my other friend Nick stayed on for a little bit longer, just because he feel like he didn't want to like abandon the whole group, so he stayed on, and we did that, which was great. And then he was just like, I really don't have the time for it, not that I don't want to do it with you, but I just feel like maybe you should try doing it on your own. So then I was thinking to myself, well, do I just quit this? Do I stop doing it because nobody wanted to join it? Or do I just tough it out and do it myself? So then that was like the real realization that I was like, I can do this by myself. Like I'm just going to DM as many people as I can on Facebook to like get interviews and stuff. I literally DM'd so many people to the point where like I got zucked, and they would not let me message people anymore because that's how many messages I had sent, which was great, which was a lot. That's a lot. It was a lot. But the real reason why I kind of stuck around was like Tim Kayem. He did like Kayem interviews. He's interviewed like Garrett from Silent Planet. He's done like a few other different notable people. He was such a great interviewer. I know he doesn't really do it as much now anymore, but I took a lot of cues from him. Punk Rock MBA more recently, he does some really great content on YouTube as well. While he doesn't really do interviews per se, his podcast is more or less that sort of stuff. So if there's anything I'd recommend to other people and people watching the live stream on here, is his stuff, because he really does a great job of kind of incorporating his business mindset to YouTube and stuff. So I'd say for myself, like that was the main factor. And just cause like I love local music, like I know we aren't local, but I feel like there's just so many bands out there that struggle it out and don't really have to, or don't have the means to like know how to do stuff. Cause it's so hard as a band now, and like in the to do this sort of shit. So I just felt like for me, it was a good way to like, even if like at the end of 2016, if I was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm done. We're out of here. I at least know that I like did a small portion of doing it. But then when I reached 2016, I knew how much of a following I was getting. And it wasn't even just because like it was a popularity thing. I was just really honestly shocked that people gave a shit about my content. So then, I was just like, well, I guess there's something here. So then I just kind of continued on, and now we're here a whole 4+ years later. So it's been crazy. So I mean, honestly, that was my start, like doing YouTube. Like my parents are big like classic rock fans, so like growing up there was almost always like music going around and stuff. And as I grew up, like my music opinions and choices have changed, but I think generally, like I've always had that like love for music. And as I said, I wanted to have people on here that give a shit about what they do and are really passionate about it. I feel like if you're doing the behind the scenes stuff, you really do care about the music. I'm not even just saying like bands do care about their music, but I just feel like even more so, like I feel like people who do like press or people who are managers, they really are like the ride or die people that really want to get what either their band or like a bunch of bands on their press agency out there, you know? So I wanted to
If
show them
nothing
that
else, it's
support.
kind of like the unsung heroes of
Oh,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, no,
So that's why I wanted to have him on, because it's just like, for me it's like a thank you. Like, I know how hard I work, so I can only imagine how much harder they work. So that was it. But I didn't mean to cut you off, Sam. So
no, and you're hitting on a lot of things that I've run into as a band member. You know, it's so hard to keep the drive at all times.
yeah,
And you know, I'm sort of the same as you. Like I grew up on the '60s through '80s kind of oldies channels in the late '90s, and you know, and then I kind of evolved from there to sort of a more modern uh, channel. So I think we kind of come off from the same basis. We're just coming at it from like different sides
yeah,
of the industry. You know, you're doing interviews and I'm doing production and being in a band,
yeah.
and you obviously have your own music stuff that you do on the side. But
Yeah, and I also feel like it's, you know, like I'm not in a band, but I've known people in bands for such a long time too. It's just like I know how hard it is to struggle, and I know there's so many bands out there that I wish were still around because they had people that cared about their music and like had people out there that were like, oh my god, like the Atlantis Theorem, I love them, they're sick, like, you know, how can we get them to more people, you know what I mean? And so
yeah,
for myself, that's what I was like hoping for to not only do with just like interview stuff, but also now with this new endeavor is like I want people to like really care about those people that do that sort of stuff and how much legwork and how much just like things that they have to do in order for things to like work out, like for you to interview a band or for you to like go on tour with said band, you know. That's I think, like you said, it's an unsung hero sort of thing.
oh, definitely. And that's yeah, and like managers and stuff is something we've just barely started to look into, and it's like, holy crap. I mean,
Yeah.
the work they can at least can put in and everything is insane.
Yeah, I've had some managers on so far, which everybody will be able to check out soon. So I'm very excited because there's some people that I've had on here that I've known for a long time, and I know that they're extremely dedicated to what they do. So hopefully, maybe fingers crossed, we'll get some new clients to them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, if nothing else, this is a great promotional tool for them. So,
And for
I
you
mean,
now,
and for
the
me,
Lawrence theorem.
I'll take the Atlantis theorem. I'll take a little promo for that. But I'm doing, you
I'll
know,
give you I'll give you your promo slot later.
I love you so much. I would have been willing to do this
I love you
regardless.
too, Sam.
Um, all right, cool. So YouTube, that's got you into YouTube. Um, my silly question would be, you know, how often do you wear pants during this? You know, I mean, you can be in like boxers or briefs or whatever you wear.
That's
That's
true. You're
fine.
right. You're right.
But like, how often are you like full ass dressed? You know what I mean? Because that's something that in the past 2 weeks I have, you know, 50-50 bid
Oh
on.
yeah,
Like,
true. And we just did an interview, so like I would respect that answer. How often do I wear pants? Especially doing interviews. Uh I almost always wear pants doing interviews, but I would say as in terms of like dressed up, like behind the webcam and doing this thing, I'm almost 99% in shorts all the time. It doesn't
sure.
matter if it's like December or it's August. We're wearing shorts. We're short season boys, you know? So I almost always wear shorts. There was maybe I don't even think there was one time where I wasn't wearing shorts. Like I've wore like either that or I wear like joggers or something, you know, something light. But generally, yes, I do wear pants.
So what you're saying is you're a drummer.
Yes, I'm a drummer. Yes. I always wear shorts because I'm a drummer now.
Every time we get up on stage and Ben is wearing shorts, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, wait, it doesn't matter, but
I mean, I'm
it's
literally
funny
wearing
'cause-
shorts right now. Here, I'll stand up and prove to everybody I'm wearing the shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Shout outs to Vault of Valor. They are from Australia. They sent me a lovely care package. Also, this
Ooh.
this Australian bear with the Australian flag, koala bear, and the
Damn.
flag on it. And they sent me some chocolates and stuff like that. So shout outs to Max and George. I miss you guys so much. I know you're not a band anymore, but I still rep the
Ooh,
living shit out of all of your stuff. So just want to let
that
you know
sounds
that.
about right.
Love them to death. I think they were my first Australian band that I've ever interviewed. So I have a lot of love for them. So
Oh yeah. And you're still giving them promo to this day.
I am 100% to my grave. I'll wear these shit until they fall apart.
Hell yeah. Sweet.
I love the pants joke. That was great. Grade A content, bud.
Yeah. All right. I do my best.
You are doing your best, damn. That's
Woo. You know what? My next question was gonna be, what got you into this style of music?
that's a good
doing
one.
the post-hardcore, the metalcore, the heavier genres. 'Cause
Okay.
It's something people don't get into a
Okay.
lot. I
Yeah,
know
you're-
a lot of interviewers like touch on it, but maybe don't necessarily care for it. They're just trying to like broaden viewership, is what it feels like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
But it feels like you're in it to win it. You know
Oh,
what
I
mean?
am 100%, 100. I'm all in. You know, I'm at the casino. I'm pushing all the chips to all in, baby. You know, we all in here.
Yeah. So
I would say
what albums? You know, what inspired you?
Okay,
What
so-
got you into this genre?
this requires a little bit of backstory. So,
All right.
like I was saying, when I was younger, a lot of the stuff I grew up with was classic rock, stuff like that. But my family is religious, so we weren't allowed to listen to like real, just like normal run of the mill shit. So I grew up listening to like the first show that I ever went to that wasn't like a classic rock show or something like that, or like a cover band or whatever, was Rev Gen, which was a little festival in New Jersey. Like, was it New Jersey or was it in PA? I don't remember, but it was somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, pretty much, in New Jersey. And the bands that were on that list were still some of the bands I listened to a ton: August Burns Red, Devil Wears Prada, Before Their Eyes, Norma Jean. It was just stacked. It was like 08 Rev Gen. If you were all about Jesus, this was the show you should have been at. The Chariot,
Yeah.
I think, was at that one. Like, it was just nuts. It was an insane lineup, and I'm so glad I went to it at such a young age, because I remember going to Rev Gen, and I had never seen August Burns Red. Like, I had listened to Thrill Seeker, and I was just like, who are these guys? They're just so aggressive for Jesus, and I love it. And like, you know, other bands that were there, like Relient K, I still love Relient K. You know, that's a classic.
Yes, it is.
But I remember seeing August Burns Red. I think at the time, Messengers had just come out. Like, it was like fresh, hot out the oven. You know, it was like,
Sure.
you know, it was the remix to Ignition. You know, it was fresh. And so I remember seeing them, and I was just like wide-eyed. I was just like, I've never seen a band like scream. I've never seen a drummer just be like so barbaric, and I've never seen guitars like want to, you know, rip my eyes out and then solder them back into my face. Like, it was just wild. It was such a crazy experience, going from like just like, yeah, like of rock and roll to like, and then just like blast beats and shit.
You went from Relient K to Messengers. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, it was just like the floodgates were opened, and I never and then after that, Devil Wears Prada had come out, and I think that they had either Plagues had come out, or it was Roots Above, Branches Below. It might have been maybe in that
I
in
want to
between era.
say 2008 was Plagues, and then 2009
9
it
was
was Roots
Roots.
Above. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like kind of in that in between era, but still great Devil Wears Prada era. And Mike, he had like the missing tooth. He was just cage. He was just broken out of the cage. Like he was just like a rat out of the cage, and was just feisty for some blood. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was such an insane experience that I was just like, I just love this shit. Like there's just something about it. Like even seeing Norma Jean back then too. Like I think Haste the Day was there. Like Before Their Eyes, I saw like Nick Moore. Shout outs to Nick Moore. If you want to come on Nick Moore and talk about In Vogue, that'd be dope. But yeah, it was just wild, and I just remember being like, holy shit, like, and then just seeing Reliant K after all that was a great kind of like cherry on top, because they're so like fun and energetic and stuff, and to me it was just kind of like, wow, there can be like heavy music, like there can be like energetic music, like post-hardcore music and stuff like that. I didn't even know what the genre was at the time. I was just like, there
Yeah.
can just be music that's just
Nobody
so
did.
energetic. Yeah, no one did. But there was just could be music that was just so energetic that I was just like, I don't know who's in this genre, but I need to find out who's in it. I need to go to every show I possibly can. So those were their initial ones, and then I kind of like transferred over. Like The Word Alive was like one of the earlier ones. Escape the Fate like was early on too. I don't really like them as much anymore, and that's just a personal preference.
That's fair.
They
That's
had
the thing.
they had their time in the spotlight, so I appreciate them. Another band I can think of at the time, like Tides of Man, they were a little bit later on, like Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil. Those sorts of bands I really got into, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is awesome, this genre is great. And then I found like heavier, like super heavy bands like Structures, like Misery Signals, Color Morale, like all of these like really just straight, like in your face, like no bullshit, like just heavy music. And I was just hooked. Like there was just something about it that like in my head I was like, yeah, this is what I like now. And it's just crazy because like I'll have other friends that are like not into the music whatsoever, and they'll be like, had no idea you listen to this stuff, and I'm just like, I love this shit. Like I'm in, like there I can count to you how like I can't even count to you how many times that I've been like, when it's been like a nice hot summer day, I have all my windows down and I have the music cranking, and it's just like the most like aggressive shit you can think of, and some like old lady's like in her car next to me, and I'm just like air drumming like, and she's just like, what is wrong with this kid? What type of drugs is this kid on? And I love it. You know what I mean? That's I'm as you were saying, I'm a ride or dyer. So that's, I feel like for me that was like those initial bands, and that's why I still love like ABR. That's why I still love Devil Wears Prada, is just because those are two bands that like to me will always be staple bands that no matter how much they change sound wise, whether if I agree with what they're doing or not, I will still love what they're doing. Same with Reliant K. I know they haven't released stuff in a little bit, but your boy trying to pick up those vinyls on your site. So Reliant K, if you're watching this and you just want to send it to me, Papa bless, I'd love that shit.
Do it.
You can send it to, you can send me and 7 years ago. Those two bomb records. Love them.
Oh man, you've like hit the nail on the head for me. Like you're talking about all this stuff, and I'm thinking about I want to say it was summer 2007 or 2008, and I went to Sunshine Fest. It's a Minnesota
Sick.
festival, and you know they had As I Lay Dying.
Oh.
I saw Flyleaf
Oh,
right after
Flyleaf.
the first album came out.
Oh.
I heard her scream in person, and I was walking away from the stage.
And then
I
you
was
turn
like,
around.
All right, this is really good. And I spun around like, what the shit? This is amazing. And I stayed there for the rest of the thing.
Old school Flyleaf is still OG, one of the best.
Right?
Easy.
Right?
Easy, hands down.
You know, I don't think Haste Today was there, but I was listening to them on the way down,
Oh,
and everybody else
Hasty.
hated it
Woo.
because it was over the stereo. The Chariot was for sure there. I saw them at the end of their set,
uh,
uh, and they started like smashing their guitars, which
yeah,
I hate. I hate.
I hate that
But
too.
they smashed the guitars and they started deconstructing the whole setup on the
Uh,
stage while the drummer was still going with the beat at the end of the song. And I remember sitting on the sidelines and seeing the drummer like playing his shit, and somebody came to pick up a cymbal and he went like this while he was playing, and then he hit it once and he muted it, and then he just kept going, and I was blown away.
I'd hate to be
Like,
I'd hate to be an endorsement sponsor for the Chariot in that time frame, because they're just like, oh well, we broke our gear again, we smashed it.
yeah,
Like,
no, but it was. But the thing is, the impact that it made was insane. 'Cause I
oh,
remember
100%.
10, 12, 15 years later, like they really killed it on that front. Like they were an amazing live band. Having
Yeah.
not listened to them beforehand, they were just stupid good.
I'd also say non-religious affiliated bands, I'd say early on would be like All American Rejects, or early Fallout Boy, obviously My Chem, that's a given. Jimmy
give
Eat
it
World. Trying to think who else was kind of like in the playlist or in the queue. As the Starting Line, Cartel, Yellow Card. I'm trying to think else. Forever the Sickest Kids, they were great. 4 Years Strong, obviously, I still love them a ton, because they're still around. But yeah, those were some of the earlier on bands that I was just like, no matter if it was like heavier stuff, I kind of like fall. And still I feel like I fall anywhere between like kind of like indie stuff to like real heavy like hardcore, like deathcore, all that sort of stuff, because
Yeah.
there's so much music to find now, especially with the internet, and just like, obviously that's how I found out about you guys and stuff. So for me it's like, it's just, when anybody tells me, they're like, oh, I never know who to listen to, like, and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like, there's like probably 20 or 40 different bands I could give you right now that you should just listen to, even if you're like not a fan of heavy music. Like, I know like a lot of people, shout outs to my boy Nathan, and he recommended me the band Camino. I'm not like a huge like pop person, but my god,
Sure.
they got the hooks. Band Camino, check them out. They're like, I'm not like a huge like I don't know a lot about pop, but I'd love to get into bands like that. So if anybody knows any bands that sound like the band Camino, other than like the 1975, like, I'd be about it. So shoot me those.
I mean, you should check out Classic Crimes' latest
Classic
album.
Crime, they're great. Yeah, forgot to mention them. They're another. Aren't they like they're like semi-religious, aren't they? Or not really? No.
They were.
Okay.
It's interesting. You can kind of hear through the progression I don't know if the singer went through or is still going through or whatever.
It's like As Cities Burn too. They're kind of like in the same camp. Also shout outs to more bands, Emery, because I feel like they never got a lot of love. You got to give them the love. They underrated AF. Let me just tell you, if you want to talk about any band in that Christian metalcore or like post-hardcore scene, 100% Emery. And then there's another one. They're not Christian. I guess they kind of are. And there's two of them. Ivory Line. They are fantastic.
Yes. Are they still a thing?
They are not still a thing anymore, and that upsets me.
But they were great.
But they were great. And Search the City. Not a lot of people know about that band, but my God, that first record, Chef's Kiss, baby. Love that record. That's still one of my favorites of all time. Post-hardcore, 100%. One of my favorites. Check that one out.
Emery, we drove, my band, the Atlantis Theorem, drove 7.5 hours from Minneapolis to Lawrence, Kansas. All right, so we drove there.
Was this recent?
VIP tickets. It was 2016.
Okay, so that was kind of that was like 4 years. That was 3-4 years ago.
Recent-ish.
Recent-ish, yeah.
So we drove 7.5 hours to see Emery, and we bought them drinks, and then we tried to sneak out of there, but then they thanked us, and it was real awkward. We saw their set, loved it, sang along with every word we knew, and then we drove back 7.5 hours in the same day. And about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, right when the sun started to come up, it was in the summer, I was like, I cannot drive anymore, because I drove all the way down, drank with us, like responsibly.
Yeah,
Drank responsibly. You know,
you have to say that.
Like,
you have to say that.
Well, I'm just saying, like
it's on the
we were
internet.
there like 6 hours, and I had like 3 drinks maybe. So it wasn't a big deal. Drove back, and at that point I was like, I cannot. So I pulled off like, 8 miles out of home and had somebody else drive us the rest of the way. And of course, as soon as I get in the back seat, I'm awake, but it's fine. It was an amazing experience. I love Emery to death. Like, You Were Not Alone is my tops album. I fucking love that shit. But yeah, and Reliant K. You mentioned and I have to mention, I had it up. Oh my god, no. I love I love Be My Escape, but it's Forget Not Slow Down is my tops album for them.
Oh, Forget Not Slow Down. Interesting. Okay.
If you're gonna throw out like, yo, you could send me some stuff, I'm gonna throw out like, yo, if you want to send me Forget Not Slow Down on vinyl, I will add that to my collection like that.
Oh, I'll make sure to tweet at them, because I know they won't, but it's okay. I'll still buy. I want to buying it because I recently went on their website. I'm trying to tangent it a little bit, but they had made a post, and they were saying, hey, for all of you vinyl collectors, we're doing a contest where we are going to have like a rating system of like, okay, here's all of our records, here's all of our songs, we're gonna pick the fan favorites, so you guys pick what your favorite songs are, and that will be there's two vinyls, and they have like a combination of all of their songs throughout their discography, and people were able to vote on it, and then they're pressing the vinyls. I don't know if they're still gonna be out or not. I'd love for them to be out, because that'd be great, because your boy would like one, and if not, then I would definitely buy the and 5 Score 7 Years Ago, or I forget the name of it, but that one's my favorite Reliant K record, is the 5 Score. So good, love that one. Deathbed is such a sad ass song. Forget's Not Slow Down. I'll have to go back and listen to that one, because
it's my peak. It's sort of, it has its ups and downs.
Was that after that? Was that before or was that after? That was after 5 Score,
2009.
Right? Oh, so that was okay. Is that the one with the bird on it?
I have it up right here.
Or is it the one with like they have like a trailer on it?
It's a trailer.
Oh, it's the trailer one. Okay. I only know it by like the album art, I like remember the album art, You know the vibes.
It's 15 songs. It's a little long, but the ones...
Listen, I listened to Dong Broco, and that was like fucking 20 songs, so...
16 on the last one, and delicious, but 16 is a lot.
Yeah,
I will give you that.
That was a pain in the booty to review, because I had to go through all 16 tracks. Man.
I can't imagine, because it's a long album too. It's not just 16. It's like over an hour. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That my brain was mush by the time I was done with that review. But
by the time we finished it out.
But it was that one was a real pain. But we were getting sidetracked. So if you have more questions, Sam, we can continue down the line.
Oh my god, I've got plenty.
Oof,
at this
okay.
point already.
Wow, we're going a distance.
I'm really interested. So we've already addressed a few. I want to pull one like reversal on you.
Ooh, okay.
Like, who are you listening to at this point? Like right now.
Right now.
Who have you listened to?
If I was supposed to stop
I
right now.
Come back. or whatever.
Oh, okay. So bands that I wish were back together?
No, but like, I phrased that badly. It's my bad. Like,
That
who
would be
have you
tight,
listened to in the last 2 months where you're like, because I know you're busy listening to
Yeah.
a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to where you're like, that is something I want to come back to. I want to cherish it. I want to listen to it again and again and again. Who are your like, your tops of albums that have come
Oh,
out
the
lately?
go-to. So like my faves, the go-tos, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, ouch. That is tough, man. That hurts.
Besides the Atlantis Theorem.
Yeah, besides the Atlantis Theorem record, which I have not listened to yet. Sam literally just sent me the song. So prior to this recording, post Brandon will make his names known after this, like when I go to edit this one, because this one's going out Tuesday. So I'll have at least, I think I would hope half of it at least listen to at that point.
God, I hope.
By that point, Tuesday. Your boy's got a lot on his plate. What am go-tos? I have to say I the Mighty, because I'm obliged to say that because I just feel like I love them so much, and I'm also ironically looking at a poster of my favorite lineup, which I'll go grab right now because I just feel like it's appropriate.
Do it.
Show and tell.
Ooh. It was giving that beat over the stream, if that helps. Oh, I was at that show. I want to say maybe. I definitely saw Dayshell and I the Mighty in the same 6 months, if that helps.
I'll show Instagram too. Here you go. There you go, guys. I'm gonna regret putting it on my bed because when I go to sleep, it's gonna be right there, and I'm gonna crush it, and I'm gonna.
You're gonna like crunch it. You're like, oh no!
I'm gonna get like plastic shards in my back, and then I'll be dead. And well, you know how the rest of it goes. So I have to say, obligatorily, I have to say, I the Mighty, Satori. I love that record to death. Everything about it, it's just still my favorite record. I think just because I had the opportunity to interview them last year was just such a blessing. Shout outs to Becky. We have an interview with her coming out later. But yeah, no, I love that record so much. That's one I go back to almost all the time. Ironically, shouts to my cousin Matt. He was asking me what my favorite I the Mighty record, and you boy hit him with that Satori real quick. That's the go-to. If I had to kind of, and I know this isn't the question you asked, but if I had to kind of rank the I the Mighty record releases, I'd probably say Satori number 1, obviously given. I would say, I'd probably say their EP second, like the first EP, not Hearts and Spades. Carmen Never Sleeps.
Yeah.
And then third, I would say Connector. And then I'd say the newest record last, honestly. I do love the newest record a lot. I would say it's kind of a tie between Connector and Where the Mind Wants to Go. It's just so tough. I love both of those records, but Satori's my favorite, Carmen Never Sleeps second, number 2, just because all the songs are bops, dude. No doubt, 100%. And I probably put Hearts and Spades at the bottom if we're gonna go all the way back in the lineage.
All right, I have to just interject real quick.
Your face gave it away.
Connector is number 1.
No, it is not.
1000%.
Well, you asked me, and I answered it.
I know.
Now you're gonna be pissed off about it.
You're wrong.
Why am I wrong?
So Connector is so much better produced, and it's better.
Disagree with that, 100%.
That's fair. I'm gonna give my opinion real quick.
Okay, good job. Thank you. All right.
I
like how this became about you. I love how this became about you. Now you're like, you have a vendetta to finish out, even though this is my channel. And
I like literally thought about that, and I was like, nah, I gotta do this.
No, do it. I appreciate it. You gotta keep it honest.
It's better composed. Satori is a very close second.
Okay,
It's
I'll give you
amazing.
that.
I
I'll give you
love
that. Okay,
Satori.
okay.
Karma Never Sleeps is easily a third, and I really don't care after that.
Really? Okay, interesting.
I don't. I actually bought the vinyl for Where Your Mind Wants to Go,
Yeah, same.
and I vaguely hate that I did that. It
Oh
was
wow, you're gonna
it
get a
was a
lot of
it was a
You're gonna get some I the Mighty haters in the chat here.
I probably am, but it was a bit of a tarp. Like when they released the two, well, they released three singles, and
And then they
it was Where
released.
Your Mind Wants to Go
Then
and
they
Silver
released another
Tongues,
single. Yeah.
and then they released what was it? Like it felt like what it was because it was in between those two. It felt like that was the slow song, you know, that was the
Oh,
break
Chaos
from the
Emotion.
rest of the album. Chaos Emotion, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that because
Um,
that one's like the most poppiest track off the record for sure.
yeah, and I was like, I really like Chaos in Motion.
I
It's
will.
a great like slow track
Yeah. Okay.
to the album,
Yeah.
but then the rest of the album was like that and not like the other two that they'd released, and it felt like a bit of a trap. But
Well, I
you know,
will
I
say.
love I the Mighty.
I will say the new track that they posted when they were out on tour with Silverstein, somebody recorded the new song that they played, and it feels like old school I the Mighty. So I have
Yeah.
hope that the new record is going to be heavier, which I'm very stoked about. But I will say where your mind wants to go, where you let it go, and Connector are kind of tied for me at third, was because and I don't really talk about personal stuff on the channel, but I feel like this is, if any time to talk about it, I'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
So at the time when that record had came out or released, I went to the release show, which was a great lineup. It was Good Tiger and Hail the Sun, which along with I the Mighty, which was beautiful. Such a fantastic tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ironically enough, when that record had came out, my ex-girlfriend had broken up with me literally that same day that record came out, or that same week that record came out, and I had been reviewing it. So I had this emotional connection to it, especially just like the last song where you let it go, where he's like, "It started with a kiss," and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That your boy hit him with the tears, afterwards. And I remember talking to Brent at the show after that, and I was telling him, I was just like, hey, I really love the record. I did a review on it, and I was like, this isn't me to just plug the review I did to you. I'm just saying, like, honestly, I just went through a breakup this past week, and I just wanted to let you know how much this record meant to me as a person, and just how much, like, it affected my life, and how much I hold that record dear, because it's so personally related to a horrible situation that has happened in my life. So I feel a strong connection to that record. I don't maybe feel as strong of a connection as the EP and obviously as Satori, but I feel like it had to have been tied with Connector. I couldn't just put it at fourth to just like close it out.
That's totally fair. I mean,
That one was that
I-
one's very emotional. Like the newest record is
Yeah.
very emotional, and so that's why I really enjoyed about it. So hopefully they'll be able to find kind of a happy middle ground about those two. But to get back to the original question at hand, I would say either my Satori. I would say Search the City's first record. I forget the name of it. I'm gonna have to look it up later. But I love that record. That was awesome. Another record that's really dear to me that I listen to a lot. I loved Movement's Feel Something. That record hits me to the bones. I almost always cry when I hear not Daylily. What's the fuck's the song?
It doesn't matter. You're busy crying,
Yeah, your boy crying. So that one's a sad one. If anybody's selling the Feel Something vinyl, please sell it to me. Don't beat me over the head with it, but I'd like to purchase it.
He deserves it.
I'd like to purchase it. So I'd say those three, and then maybe like a nostalgia trip one. Actually, I'll give two. 4 Years Strong, Rise or Die Trying. Still one of the best easycore records of all time. Easily, hands down.
Dude.
Somebody can fight me in the street. If you think Set Your Goals is better than 4 Years Strong, you can fight me too. I don't care.
No!
100%. Why, you like Set Your Goals more than 4 Years Strong?
No, 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 no. I'm with you. I'm with you
Okay,
on
good.
this one.
Okay,
Like,
good.
set
Okay.
your goals, hit
They
hit
were
the
good.
mark for me on one album, and then I was like, oh, 4 years strong. I'm sorry, set your goals. I really am. Like for me,
They're
they
not a
just
band.
did it better.
They're kind of a band, but not really. So not anymore. I feel like they're
I
kind of
feel
like on
really bad.
hiatus, but not really.
Yeah, I feel really bad to like say because I feel like people will say that to me in my
It's
lifetime, and
divisive.
I'm like, oh, but for me,
But yeah, no, it's true.
they just
100%.
did that exact effect, just like they just did it that
I
next
literally
level.
have Rise or
I'm
Die
sorry.
Trying on vinyl, and I think I've played it in my old apartment. I played it at least 20 times, and I'll probably
I
play
believe
it.
that.
I'll play it more times in this new apartment.
Heck
So
yes.
so I have to say that one. And then another nostalgia trip is let me see if I can pull one from like the old schools.
The old
Um,
schools.
I know I'm thinking of them all now at this point. The first 30 the not first 30 seconds to Mars record, the second one, A Beautiful Lie, that one's
Oh
still an emo classic. That was another band that I like didn't mention prior, but my god, that record, uh
yes.
I love that one, The Kill. Dude,
Oh man.
that I mean, Jared Leto in his prime, that was hot. That was just great. From yesterday, that's just,
I
oh
want
my
to
god.
say From Yesterday was my favorite
That
off the
one's
album.
so good. And the
I
music
have not
video,
listened to that in a long time.
well, now you have to
And
go
you
listen
know,
to it.
I
I have that
never.
on vinyl
So
too.
when that came out, I still had fucking dial up, so I did not watch music videos. You see that show saying, yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
vibe with that. I feel that. I feel that strongly. So I remember shouts to all the people who use LimeWire. I remember LimeWiring it, and
oh no,
yeah, I know. Well, I don't care if
I never did.
LimeWire doesn't exist anymore, so I don't really care.
Does
But yeah,
it not?
those would be my nostalgia picks. I know there's probably other ones. I'd say, like I said, Reliant K earlier. Anything like or like Five Score. Those two, I think. And then one last one. Anything Paramore. I think.
Sure,
I
sure.
think I would say most likely Brand New Eyes. That one is by far top tier Paramore record. Also, you can fight me if you don't think that's the best Paramore record. I've already had arguments with people. That's by far the best one. Tell me production wise that shit don't bop. First of all, whoever did the mixing and mastering on that, that's still gold standard for me. Like if
Yes,
you're gonna talk about a mix job, oof, that is heat.
Brand New Eyes fucking killed.
It's still good.
That
Like
was
if it
like
came out now, it'd still be fine.
it would be amazing. I listened to like the three, the two up to that, and then
The
when that came out, I was
trifectas,
like,
the
yes,
Holy
this is
Trinity.
the jam.
Yes.
Like it was so good. That is easily my top of the Paramore records.
Imagine I think it's not Imaginary Ghost. It's something Ghost, Hidden Ghost, or something like
Oh,
that.
damn, yeah, you said it.
That guitar part
That's
gets me,
such. Well, the thing is, like, I
and
feel
her
like
voice.
the production on that track is like kind of
Beautiful.
shitty, but in the right way.
It's
You know
like
what I mean?
lo-fi before lo-fi was
Imaginary
lo-fi.
Ghost.
Imaginary
Yeah,
Ghost.
exactly.
I'd also
And it's just,
say one more because I feel like I just keep adding on to it. I'll let you finish.
Misguided Ghost.
Misguided Ghost. There you go. I will say Circus Survives, Blue Sky Noise. That one is another
Sure.
one.
Yep,
I
that's the
literally
album I would agree with.
I literally bought it recently on vinyl. I know the hipster in the room right now, but I had bought it recently and I just put it on. I put it on a few days ago, along with Closure Moscow, First Temple. Shout out to that record too. That's another fantastic post-hardcore record. But I had listened to that one, and I was just I put on Closure Moscow, First Temple, Circus Survive, Blue Sky Noise, another bop in my opinion, PM Today and Medias Res. Still fantastic record. Band you should check out. They were early Rise, No one knew about them. A band you should 100% check out. A band that I felt like heavily underrated. If you want to hear some real good post-hardcore, like on the same level of like Tides of Man, Dreamhouse, do it. And the craziest thing was they were mostly brothers. I think there was like 3 brothers, and one of the other members was like a cousin or something like that. So it's all familial, which was nuts. And they wind up breaking up and all that stuff, which is one sad tear. But I love those 3 records. If I could like die, I would probably take. If I was stuck on an island, those would be the 3 records I'd take with me. I know that sounds like a lot, but I feel like those are post-hardcore gems right there. Anthony Green in his prime, Blue Sky Noise, Closure Moscow, best record they've done. I think Pink Lemonade was great, but First Temple, nothing can beat that. And then PM Today, hella underrated band. Definitely check out Media Stress.
Honestly, I've never heard of them, but they will be on the Spotify list.
Fantastic.
That sounds awesome. Like, I'm stoked on where that led because I could relate to a lot of that.
There was a lot of them. I feel like I picked too many, but at the same point, I know the struggle of answering these questions. So
I would have answered like 8 of them, just like, oh yeah, okay, cool, we'll do this and this. So it's fine. One of the questions that I picked while I was thinking about this is, who are like the people who've supported you throughout this endeavor? Like, let's give some shout outs to the people who've been like, yeah, you can do this. Let's make your channel a thing.
Yeah, I have to give a shout outs to Atlantis Theorem, because I know you guys have backed me hard, so I gotta give them the first love. The first love, my only love. I'm sorry, I was saying a Justin Bieber song. Should have said that. I'm
not worried about it.
It was like the Ludacris line, where he was like, "You my first love, my only love." I'm not gonna sing it because I'll get copyrighted. So I would definitely say you guys for sure. I know like we kind of took a pause, but I love to keep up with a lot of the bands that I have on here. I'm literally saying no bullshit, and anybody can call me out. I will talk to anybody that I've had interviews with, even if it's not like, oh, I want you to do an interview with me. I like genuinely care about you as people. I love your music. And those are 2 things that I both enjoy, both support. I both care about both of those things tremendously. So for me, I don't feel like I wouldn't say there's one band that sticks out particularly. But I would say I feel like a lot of New Jersey bands, because I see them more often, PA bands, I see them more often. But I wouldn't say particularly one's stronger than the other, if that's what you're getting at. But if I had to kind of like put it down in terms of like actual bands that I know have supported me since like day one, again, say Atlantis Theorem. I would say another band from Texas, Paula. Shouts to Andy Taylor. They're great. Love those guys. Big ups. I also have to say With Sales Ahead. They're a band from New Jersey. Love those peeps. They the best. Love them so much. I'd also say another band called Poeta. They're another band from New Jersey that I love too. They kind of took a hiatus for a little bit, and now they're back doing stuff, which is always awesome. I would say more recently The Parallel now, which is great. I love those guys tremendously too. A tech metalcore band from the good old Blue North in Canada. So I gotta give them love. And then I would also say 2 or 3 other Canadian bands, Widmore. If you haven't checked them out, they are the next big band. If you imagined like Issues to be heavier and it had more like boy band kind of like vibes, fam, you need to check that. If you wanted a boy band with screams and had some really good metalcore like riffs, bruh,
Can you please spell that?
WIDMORE.
All
Check
right,
out.
great. I got it right.
There you go. Check out their record, Hostel.
All right.
Fantastic. You want to talk about a man that's got the voice of a Jesus? That's my boy Rule. Love that dude. But anytime they come through, love
I'm
them.
in on that.
They're like if Issues was more of a boy band and was still like metalcore still. Love those guys. They got the
All right.
hooks.
Without hearing it, please, Wigmore, just come to Minneapolis and I will be there. You are
They
hitting
will.
the spot for
They
me.
they hit the spot. I saw them. They were like following Warped Tour, and they had played a slot in New Jersey when I saw them in Camden, and they played in a parking lot. They ripped. So I can only imagine them playing like on a stage with like actual gear and stuff. So I had seen them one time. They played Creep Record Store in Philadelphia. Shouts to that. And they were wild. I love seeing them. For some reason, they almost always have problems with sound, but for some reason, they always wind up killing it. So I gotta give them the love. I also have to say Whalebones from Indiana. They're fantastic. They've been supportive since the very beginning. I'd also say the Home Team from the great old Washington State. They've stayed over my house. We've hung out many times through touring, so I love those guys dearly. Picturesque is another big homie. Big ups. Love those dudes so much. They've stayed over. We've had conversations. Jordan literally just messaged me about the album review. If you haven't checked that out, if you want to check that out, that's sick. And then I'd say The Burden from Canada. If you love Under Oath, like old school Under Oath, like if you wanted Under Oath to put out an old school record because they didn't, that band, you should check out The Burden because they are wicked awesome, and they literally sound like if Under Oath continued after like what's that record? Lost in the Sound of Separation. Like if you wanted them to continue on in that sort of sound, The Burden is right in that position. So go check them out. Fantastic. Oh wow, I only have another. They're gonna close out my live stream because it's an hour long already. And the last one is Tama Hills. Oh wow, they really did end it. They ended it on me.
Oh damn, and done.
And Instagram was like, nah, fam. What if I did another one though?
You've been too busy. All right, bro.
I'll send him another one. Oh, we're going live
Do it.
again. We'll just do a double up. I don't care. We're back in it again.
Screw it.
You missed nothing. So I have to give them, and then Tama Hills, another fantastic band. If you're like into Architects and like heavy shit, they're the jam. Love those dudes. So, but generally, I think everybody kind of puts in, but those are the ones that I can truly, honestly remember in my DMs like pretty often. Also, Second is Safety. They're a math rock band from Pittsburgh. Fantastic. Go give them a listen. Love those dudes so much. But yeah, those would be my the homies. I would consider them like just above like everybody's like kind of acquaintances. Like I would consider them my friends, but those are like up a tier. You know, they're like the homies.
I'm gonna give you what the Atlantis Theorem does. So, what we've got is like kind of a couple different friend groups, and there's one of which that we call the homies, and that's kind of like Benjamin, our drummer. He's got these friends that he's had since like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And weirdly, we've got this thing that we call one for the homies, and we kind of do one of these. So randomly, we'll do that in shows, and nobody knows what it's about, but
the homies know.
Like, yeah, it's just like the homies know, and like what we're about. Like,
that's a vibe.
Thank you for the support from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, they were at our house shows in 2013
Amen.
and shit like that. Like,
Amen.
And it's just it's a thing. So I'm gonna give that to you and to all your homies. Like,
we're gonna do that.
Thank
you.
Way to be there. You know?
I will do that. I'll do that to you guys when you play in New Jersey or Philadelphia.
hell
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
greet
gonna
you
be
like that.
amazing.
I'm gonna watch
I
this
mean,
video and do it.
I would say this year, but you never know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're
All
right.
right, all
You're
right,
right. Hit me
all
with
right.
them next questions,
I
Sam.
got two big ones
Two
left,
big
if that
ups. All
helps.
right, let's hear it.
So it's the first one is like, what do you attribute to your success? I mean, has going to shows matter? Just straight up personality, personally networking with people, has that been a big thing for you? Has just hitting people up online, especially if they aren't coming to New Jersey in the near future, has that helped a lot? Um, are
Hmm.
bands generally really interested in just having interviews with sort of a, I mean, not an underground site at this point, but you know what I mean?
You can say that. I wouldn't take offense to that. I feel like I'm
I
not.
mean, you're not fucking AP Press, but
I'm not.
you're also not, me. So,
Yeah. That was great. Oh
but
my god, that's true. I'm just slightly above like a normal. Like this is a normal civilian. I'm like
all right,
milli-inches
all
above it.
right.
I feel like that. Okay, so I'll give a story. Shout outs to Dom. He had come up to me at a show. Very recently, I was at a Sleep On It show. I had like a head cold, so I wasn't feeling great. But I went to the show because I was like, I got to interview Sleep On It. Like they're fucking tight. Love those guys.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
And
Yeah.
they're great. So I was like, let me do it. And also, the tour package was phenomenal, so I like had to do it. And I wasn't even like paying attention. I was just kind of like enjoying the music. I had my earbuds in and stuff like that. And some guy comes up to me and he like taps me on the back of the shoulder. I like turn around and he's like, yo, are you Brandon from Audio Addiction? And I like shat myself. Like I was just like, who recognizes me? Like who's gonna come up to me at a show and recognize me? So Dom comes up to me and he's like, yo man, I'm Dom. He's just like, I was actually watching one of your videos before I came here. And I wasn't expecting to see you. He's like, I've seen you at some shows, like, here and there. And, it's cool to actually meet you. And I felt bad because I was like kind of under the weather. So like, I didn't want to be close to anybody. And I told him that after the fact, but I was just like so in shock. Like people like genuinely were just like, dude, you seem like so chill, you seem like a cool guy, like you obviously enjoy the music, you enjoy going to shows and stuff. And he was just asking me like what shows I was going to next and all that stuff. And he was like, honestly, I thought you were just gonna like blow me off, like, and not give a shit about like me as a person. And I was just like, I was like, I appreciate that because I would never do that shit. And I was like, you could fucking hit me if that happened because I would never do that shit. And if I ever get to that point, please fucking just smack me, I don't care. Even
Like
if I
swing
like
through,
like
it'll be
yeah,
fine.
yeah, just swing through, just hit me. I don't care because like if I'm gonna have like, I really want my mentality to be like, if I have 1,000 subs or if I have 1,000,000 subs, I want to still have that same thought process, like still same love for like my fans, like for people. Like I'm gonna do my damnedest to like really give a shit about everybody. But to kind of answer your question, who motivated me to continue doing this? Is that what basically the question per se, or no?
It was, I mean, that was layered in there and maybe
Okay.
an earlier question, but it was just like
Who's like a supporter? Who's the home? Who's the
success
supporters?
question. Like, what do you attribute to your moving forward? Who, what,
Oh, like people that help me like move, like that help me to continue to like do this, correct? Like and like be like, oh my god, like my supporters, like people that.
And like your attitudes towards it.
Okay,
'Cause
so
it's hard to do what you're doing.
correct. So I would say initially my parents didn't know what I was doing. They were like, what are you doing? Like you're going to these shows, you're paying out money to go see these shows, all this sort of stuff. And it wasn't really a reality until I started not paying for shows and that they were like getting me in and I was getting guest lists and stuff. And then people were like, oh, well, now you do this. Like this is a thing. I think that was really the turning point for me. I don't think I'll ever stop doing it. I had when I when I was in the first year of audio addiction, I actually had the thought of quitting and just closing it out. Like I was like, if this year, next year in 2017 doesn't go well, then I'll just close it out. I'll say I did what I did. I was happy with it. Not to the extent I wanted it to go, but like I'd just be like, okay, that chapter of my life's closed, whatever. And
Sure.
and I'm glad I stuck around and did it, because early on when I was younger, and not a lot of people know this unless you're like a close family friend or you're just a friend, like actual friend that isn't a part of the music community. I was very shy. Like I wasn't good talking in front of like girls I liked. I wasn't good talking in front of bands that I liked. I was like piss my pants, like scared. And I was just like in my head, I was just like, there's gotta be something better than this. Like you can't just always be afraid of like what's gonna happen, whether it be like a personal thing or like, a music thing, like doing YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, this is gonna put me way out of my comfort zone, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I feel like it's good to build character. It's good to meet people, and it's something I'm passionate about. So I feel like I wouldn't be as shy to talk about it, especially like if I want to be talking to bands and they have like similar influences or whatever it may be. I was just like, this just works, And I was like, you know what? I think it just helped boost my confidence, like in like personality and stuff. And like, I feel like now, like I don't need before I had to like look at questions like on a piece of paper. Now I could do it like this and like not even like sweat,
Wait, you're saying like me right now?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And funnily enough, I was thinking about doing a reaction video to the first ever interview, or the first ever interview I did, just because I'm curious, like, because I could obviously give backstory and like my whole experience doing that, but I feel like that's a video I might do maybe next weekend or something. I'll
For sure.
Haven't decided yet, but I do want to do it eventually.
It'd be something.
It would be something, and I would be excited to do it because I want to see how cringe I was back then. But yeah, I think for me it was just like a confidence booster thing. Like it was something that I wasn't really expecting a lot out of, just because like YouTube's just a saturated platform, and I was just like, if I get big, cool. If not, like if I don't get big, I can just tell my kids like, don't stop doing your dreams. Like just like do what you want to do. Like because no one's gonna. There, because like I had a lot of people that were just like, fake about it. They'd just be like, oh yeah, this is great, blah blah blah, and then they're just like behind their back to be like, I think Brand's fucking stupid for doing a YouTube channel and all that stuff. And I'd find out about it later, and I'm just like, wow, okay, that's real flex hours right there. But for me, it was just like, it was something that brought me a lot of happiness, and especially like in times where I felt like shit was really hitting the fan. I felt like a lot of my like passion and a lot of my heart for it really kind of changed. And I think it's just something that's always been a part of my life. It's something that I've always enjoyed, and I've always been able to appreciate other people's passions for this. Like like when bands really believe in what they do, I think for me I see that in doing this channel. And so I was just like, you know what, if they're gonna push to do it, like I gotta push just as hard, or if not harder, to do this, because I really believe in the bands that I have on. I really want them to do what they want to do in life, and I hope that they receive the accolades and the success, because I would want that as a fan, not only as a friend, but as a fan of the band. Like I would want them to get far. I'd want them to be able to do what they love to do. Because I do this. I don't make jack shit from YouTube, but I do enjoy doing it. I'm still going to be passionate about it. If people want to support it anyway, I have ways of doing that. I don't like talking about it because I just feel like, I'm not the next Logan Paul. I don't want to be the next Logan Paul, but like, I'm just not here to plug my merch all the time, plug my Patreon. Like, there's links in the description. If you want to purchase something, please do so. If you want to support me on Patreon, please do so. But I'm not asking for the handout. You know what I mean? That wasn't my initial thought. But if you want to, you can.
For him, yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. Like it's sort of a pain for pleasure.
Correct.
kind of a deal. We're like, you know what? I'm willing to. I just want to do this. If people like it,
I'm willing to
that's a
endure
thing.
through
And
it.
if it's not, it is what it is.
But I didn't want to feel like I didn't want to feel like it was the end of the line for me. You know what I mean? I just didn't want
Yeah.
it to seem like, oh, well, I could have done more. Like, I'd rather be at the point in my YouTube career where I'm like, if I gave it up last year in the 5, I'd be like, I had 5 wonderful years doing it. I had 5 years of great friendships that I hope don't die out when I don't do this anymore. And, stuff like that. It's like, I hope to keep in contact with all the people that I do stuff with, like whether it be press or like band people. I want to keep in contact with these people because these are still my friends. Like, no matter if I'm still doing the channel or not, I still would hope that you would consider me as a friend and still want to, even if we don't live in other states, that we'd be able to, like, I go visit you on vacation or like whatever,
Like, your passion is going to push through, and your relation to people is going to push through no matter what.
Correct.
If the YouTube thing works
Doesn't
out,
pan out.
That's
Yeah.
freaking great, but
it's like whatever. And my huge stretch goal is to own a label, like to run a label. I feel like the thing that I'm doing now is like kind of sets me up for it. It's almost like, it's almost like a talent scout. I'm already doing that already, and I'm just like, well, yo, if you guys are still in bands and I have money now, like I can help you support it. And my whole ethos with that was like doing it more like not like a traditional label where like you sign still sign a contract, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna take like 90% of your money, you know what I mean? I'd just be like, hey, you know what, here's my resources that I've built up over the years, you can utilize them at a cost, obviously. And it wouldn't be a label as in like, obviously you'd still be signed under the label, but it'd be more so like a partnership rather than for me to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna take all of your royalties, I'm gonna take all of your shit, I'm gonna take all of this sort of stuff. And I feel like that's a better way to do it, and I feel like a lot of bands are doing more of the DIY thing where they do it themselves, and I think that's great. Put all the power back into the band, but I also feel like there's certain bands that maybe don't have the access to that sort of stuff. So I feel like for myself, I want to be kind of that like middleman, like, hey, like we can get you in contact with some really good booking agents, or like we can get you in contact with some really good managers, or we can get you in contact with some really good PR or something like that to aid in what you do. And then like I said, for that cost, then we can arrange something. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, give me all your money, like
Number one, I think you're fucking great for like having that vision. I think it's something that's so hard for people to kind of push into and have like serious people on the other side and really go into it going, okay, this is going to be fair. This is going to be something that we want to do.
Yeah.
And then 2, let us know. Like,
I'm hoping it's sooner. I'm hoping it's
to.
sooner than later. That's my guess. I would like to shoot between the next 5 and 10 years. Is my stretch goal, kind of.
I mean, at this point, we've been around for 10 years, so the Atlantis Theorem let us know. We'll be around.
You got it. You'll be one of the first ones on that list, dog. 100%.
Hell yeah.
And you can send me this video 5 years from now and be like, Brandon, this is what you said.
This is what you said. We got video proof.
We got video proof. It's on YouTube Max.
All right, the last thing I really wanted to ask you,
okay,
is, as with any job or passion or pursuit, are you fucking exhausted? Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
We just released a song, and I'm sort of like, damn, I should have been more involved. But I did the mixing and
you did a lot. You gotta I'll give you the air claps.
Thank you. And the recording, I was like, I sort of kind of came to this last release before the album came out, and I was like, all right, you two are gonna handle everything. And then the day hit, and we were like,
who's doing it?
Do we have this? And I was like, oh, so
now you have to be band dad. You have to be band dad, yeah.
Well, I mean, not even that, but like all
Kind of
three of us need to be on
cohesive.
the, yeah, we need to be on the dot with
Correct.
everything. So you're one person making this happen,
Yeah.
and I'm one of three, and I still can't make it happen. So are you just like, are you fucking exhausted doing this?
Okay. You want the honest truth, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
I will say I do feel that way certain times, like I had mentioned before, I had given up doing it or I had thought about giving it up a few times. And I think more recently I feel that way. Not because I feel like burnt out doing it. I just feel like there's a lot of shit. Like I get so many emails, I get DMs, I get messages, I get whatever, you know what I mean? And I appreciate all that. I think it's great, but I don't think a lot of people know that it's just one person behind all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see the channel and they're like, "Oh, this has to be more than one person." Like 100%. There's no way this guy's doing all this stuff. And
Hmm.
when they're like, "Oh, you answer my emails like 2 days later," I'm like, "Yeah, because like I work a full-time job that isn't this, and I live my life, and I like just moved recently, and like there's just a whole bunch of stuff that's like personal life as of currently that's happened, and then just like normal stuff like I have to do so many reviews like to try to get the homies out to do stuff. Like I also want to try to do like different albums that I don't typically do to do like kind of get a different side of things. I have to compete with other YouTubers because there's other YouTubers that are now doing this sort of stuff. And so, for me, it's always about keeping it fresh. I think every year I always go through the thought process of like, what can I do differently? What can I change up? What can, like with any sort of small business, I treat this like a business. It's like, what can I do differently? What type of audience can I grab this time around? What can I do that would make it more refreshing for me to be able to do stuff? And this is one of the whole reasons why I started doing this was because like I want to have a fresh perspective. I want to see what other people are feeling like, from their sort of point of view, as well as like just interviewing somebody different that isn't a band person. Like I love interviewing band people, but sometimes that isn't always always the most fun stuff, and some people are very nervous because like as you guys know, it's like I video call you've never met me my entire life, and you're just expecting to be like buddy with somebody right away. I mean that's a little nerve-wracking sometimes.
I mean, we are like TAT's freaking in love with you, if that
Oh,
helps.
I'm in love with you guys too, so the
We're
feeling's mutual.
bros,
We're bros.
so
We're
it's all
bros. We're
good.
the homies. We're the homies now. Um,
Hell yeah.
Yo, yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I definitely feel it. I would say last year I definitely felt it the most. Just because my sister moved south, and so I was living by myself, and I was just like the stresses of moving by yourself, living by yourself,
Yeah.
and just like life in general, just like a lot going on. And obviously this year's been kind of stressful because of the whole like coronavirus that I can't say because I'll get demonetized on YouTube apparently now. So I
Yeah.
can't say that. But
They're bees, we swear.
they're bees, the big bees. But yeah, like I definitely feel that way about it even still now. Like it's just something that like I said, I still love doing, I still enjoy doing, but when you're one person, it can be exhausting, when you get like 20 emails and they're all like, "Hey, check out this, check out this, check out this, blah blah blah," uh hot local singles in your area, and I'm like, "Ooh, that one's my favorite one. Click that one." But like, it's just like to me, it's just I think I have to like take a step back and like last year I made probably the most personal video I've ever made in my entire life on the channel, and you can check it out because it's up there. But I was just talking about how I've been going through like a depression as of recently, and I still kind of feel that way off and on every once in a while. But I get into these like funks where I like don't want to do anything. I don't want to like listen to an album like 20 fucking times and do a review of it.
Yeah.
And so I get in that kind of funk, and I also watch like other YouTubers, and I'm just like, wow, look how much success they've had. And like, then I'm like, look at me. I like don't have like a lot of subscriber count, and I don't have like that much views. And I was just like, and my whole thing was like, the biggest thing that I had a problem with was just like people like doing the reaction videos and getting like a fuck ton of views, and then my stuff that like I put a lot of heart and effort into get like marginally less views. And I'm not just saying it because like I'm a YouTuber and I'm mad because this person got more views than I did, and now I'm mad. You know, I'm just a keyboard warrior because I gotta say how much I hate everybody on YouTube. You know, like that's not my shtick. I've been doing it for 4 years. I care a lot about the music, and these and I'm not saying that they don't care about the music and they don't care about what they do, but for me, it's just like if you're making a review and it's 25 minutes long, you give a shit about the music. You know what I mean? You're not just trying to make it just so you can make this, you know, make the money. I'm doing it because I give a shit about it. I give a shit about the people that are behind it, that are making the music, and I just generally want, you know, the band to get out there. Like, for example, the new Loathe record. I had compared it to another YouTuber, and the YouTuber had way more views on his video than my video, and I know I took way more time digesting it, putting more time into it, and it just it hurt my feelings. And you know, maybe I shouldn't get so butthurt about it, but you know, when you've been doing it for 4 years and you're hoping that people give a shit about your content, you know, you would hope that people will be like, oh wow, like this is good, this guy's taking an in-depth approach to it and stuff like that. And so I don't really feel like I don't feel like I'm like tired of doing it. I'm just tired of like, and this is going to sound super narcissistic, but I'm tired of other people getting the attention that I feel like I deserve to get, you know? And that I'm not just saying that because like, I'm like, I've been around longer, I deserve the attention. I'm just like, I've been doing this. Like, if anybody can tell you straight facts, is that I'm really care about this. I'm very passionate about it, and I don't want anybody to misconstrue that whatsoever. And I feel like with some YouTubers that I see, I feel like they don't care. They only care about the views, and they only care about like, you know, getting the reaction and just doing that sort of stuff. Because like I could sit here and be like I could listen to a track and be like, yo, I like that drop, that's sick, that was such a sick drop, you know, that was really heavy, and then just like go like this or whatever, and then that's just like people are just so on that like base level of shit and not like go deeper, and they're like, oh my god, there's so much depth to this track or whatever. And I think you can understand because you are a producer and you like really delve into it and you kind of meticulate over the little like nuances of things. And I appreciate that, you know what I mean? As a reviewer, I'm like going through and I'm like, yeah, this section has a really great solo, or I love this like vocal hook, or you know, and I pick those things out because I enjoy them, and I also feel like other people enjoy them when they're listening to the song. Maybe that's just the nerd in me that loves that sort of stuff, but you know, and that's a very niche audience, because then that kind of borderlines on the lines of like elitism, and I'm definitely not an elitist. So, you know, I think that's the thing that like frustrates me about doing it, not necessarily like the longevity of doing it, because I can do it. I would probably do this till I die, but I feel like, you know, like I said, it's gonna sound narcissistic, but I do feel like I deserve more attention than I feel like I am getting, and that sounds very narcissistic, but I believe it to be true. You know,
I know what you mean as like a producer, and let's be real, a really shitty self business person. Like, I'm not going to say that I have the best product out there as a producer, recorder, or mixer, masterer, you know, like, you know, any of the things that matter. But I feel like I try.
Yeah.
I try really hard, and the you know, I've done the TAT records, I've done Shot Memory, I've done, you know, a multitude of other bands. I've done Careful Gaze's last releases, and
Gabe,
I
come
feel
on.
like, hell yeah, Gabe, I'm gonna text him tonight.
Please.
And it is that sort of like, you know what? Maybe I'm not the best person out there, but I'm giving you my all.
Oh, 100%.
No matter what. And if it ends up being the best thing you can get, that's fucking great. And if it ends up being the second best, or
still good.
or something different, you know, something different than what you expected. It's like, man, I am doing everything I fucking can to put you out there. Like, this is about you, and I just really want to give you the best thing I can. So I really know what you mean about the kind of struggling to establish yourself as that channel or that producer or that engineer, you know what I mean?
I'm not even just saying that like from just like because I'm on the top of the mountain kind of thing. Like I'm saying that because like I've been doing it for a long time. Like, and if anybody, like I said, if anybody can tell you, it's like I care about this shit. Like I care about the
Yeah.
bands, and even if it's not just like for me to get bigger, I just want these bands to get bigger. Like there's a lot of bands, like including your band. Like there's bands that struggle it out day after day to get music out, and the biggest thing that I hate the most is when I know a band rips and they break up, you know what I mean, just because they weren't getting enough of a following, or they weren't doing this or they weren't doing that hurts me to the core, because I know I did my damnness to help them out, and it just didn't go through, you know what I mean. And some
Yes.
and some people break off for like petty differences and stuff and whatever. That's you can live your life, and if you want to live your life in that wrong way, then you do what you do. But you know, but for me, it's like, you know, you weren't really there as a homie, you know what I mean. The people that
Yes.
the people that I talk to for a reason, because I genuinely love them as people, but I also love them because I love their music. Like I'm gonna push even harder for them to do stuff. Like as we were talking about earlier, the homies. Like I consider you, like I'm gonna push the Atlantis Theorem till I can't fucking breathe anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's my whole vibe, and that was like, and that's the whole ethos of the channel, was for me to just share bands that I know kill it and don't get the recognition that they deserve. Like no matter if it's like a band that is signed or not. Like there's this alternative scene is not nearly as big as the pop machine out there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Die Artist Murder is not going to go toe to toe with Justin Bieber. There's just no chance, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like any opportunity that I can to get a band out there to show them like recognition, whether it be an album review or an interview or both or whatever. Like that's important to me as a person that cares about them as people, and you know, cares about them as like they want to see them succeed, not just because like, oh well, I'm just trying to make a quick YouTube buck, you know, I'm just trying to get bands out there because I believe in them, you know.
Well, and that's sort of where I land as like personally as a an engineer and a producer. You know, like I just want to put good bands out there,
Yeah.
or people that I believe in. You know, I've got two tapes sitting in front of me where these are bands that they're people I know, and they're people who are just really good musicians, and they're putting out something that I believe is special. And I really just want to push them
Yeah.
more than, oh yeah, I want to sign the biggest fucking band that I can, you know. You know, and there's obviously advantages to that. You know, if I could sign by the thousands, that'd be goddamn great. But
Yeah.
I'm probably not to that point yet, so it's fine. I'll
But you
settle
know,
for doing my own.
but you know how good they are, and so like that's what my thing is
Yeah,
like just curating a bunch of people that like, even if like my biggest thing would be is just like knowing that there's just two bands out there that like a band found out about my band, found out
yeah,
about a band that I reviewed on the channel or I interviewed or whatever, and they're just like, yo, this band's tight, like we should do stuff together, and then they do stuff together and then it's tight, you know what I mean. That's awesome. That's what the type of vibe that I want to get. I just want to create a community of people that like give a shit about music, that genuinely want to be friends with other bands, and you know, like want to have fun. Like that's one of the coolest things that I had the experiencing of of talking about was I went to go see For the Falling Dreams in Philly. My friend Damon, he plays guitar for Of Virtue, which is a great band. You should go check them out. If you're into more like hard rock and like metalcore, great band. And we were talking about it, and he was just like, he's like, you know what? He's like, I hear your name in passing almost all the time. Like when we were like when people are talking about like press and stuff, and they're like, who do we hit up on the East Coast? And they're always like, Brandon, hit Brandon up from Audio Addiction. He like genuinely gives a shit about music and all that sort of stuff. And I've heard this from multiple people, so it's not just from Damon, but shout out to Damon. And so it always warms my heart when people are out there doing that. They're just like, yo, this guy genuinely gives a shit about music. Like, you need to sit down with him. You need to talk with him because he's genuinely passionate about what he does. And obviously I'm speaking on myself in this behalf, but like, it's just cool to have those people that like I've talked to on the road that have been like, yo, Brandon, he's awesome. Like, you should do stuff with him. Like, it's just, that warms my heart, and I love that. And as I've said in like multiple like interviews and stuff, my biggest thing has been like, if I can have bands on here, like if somebody doesn't know about your band and it's just like, yo, I need to go check out the Atlantis Theorem, like, and they wind up loving your music and they're just like, yo, I found out about your band through Audio Addiction. That warms my heart. I love that shit. That is literally the thing that helps me sleep at night. It's just like knowing that somebody out there is watching this interview or like some other interview on the channel and it's just like, yo, I love this band now, and now I want to know everything about this band, and that's cool.
And you're kind of, to plug our own shit a little bit, you're kind of hitting on the whole impetus for the Atlantis Theorem's latest album, which is like, let's
just plug it now. Just do it, all of it.
You know what I mean? Let's roll in everybody we can from the Minnesota scene who does artwork, visual art, who does any sort of music. Let's get trumpet players, let's get sax players, let's get singers, let's get rappers, let's get anybody we can. Let's get visual artists who do stainless steel sculptures, who do actual paintings, who do digital artwork, who do photographs, who do all of those things. Like, we just wanted to get everybody together. This painting right here, this is the artwork for our first single from the album called Free, and it's legit. It's legit a painting that I have in the back of my room because I haven't brought it to the practice space yet. Like it's there. We have so much just input from the scene of people that we love and we support and we're going to credit and we're going to push.
Yeah.
Like, these are, not that they're the only people, but they're people who are doing things in our scene and we love what they're doing. And let's get 3, 4, 5 people, let's get 100 people interested in what they're doing. Let's get all these people interested in their visual art. Let's get all these people interested in their other band who are doing rock, who are rapping, who are doing we got one person who's doing like a Bruce Springsteen cover band. Sorry, it's Van Morrison, not Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my god,
I know, I'm terrible. You can just edit that out, it'll be fine.
No, I'm definitely not editing that. Your boy doesn't edit anything out, so
my shame is mine. It's fine. But you know what I mean? Like, we've got all these different genres, and it's that same sort of thing you're talking about, where it's like, let's get 6 people interested in this band. Let's get 1 person. Let's get 100 people.
Yeah.
We want to push the scene that people don't know about, and really just help anybody we can.
Yeah, that's always been a part of my life. I feel like, I think that's like a personal trait, that I had even prior to doing this, and I'm not even just trying to say that to be like toot my own horn, but I think for me, it's just always been a part of my life, and it's always been something that I care about. And like, I'll give a shout out to my friend Liam from Tama Hills. Like, I talked to him because his mom had made a post about him trying to kill himself, and so I wound up messaging him, and I was like, yo, dude, I'm glad, it didn't happen. I just hope everything's good, blah, blah, blah. And I just kept reaching out to him, and then I finally got to video chat him last week. And, honestly, I don't know if he's cool. I'm sure he's cool with me saying it now, but, we were talking about it and stuff, and he was just like, he's like, you live thousands of miles away from me and you still give a shit about me, like you didn't like. And he was just like, well, why do you care, like why? And it's not even just because like I'm asking because I'm like a dickhead or anything. He's like, I'm asking genuinely, like why would you care about somebody from like on the completely opposite side of your country? And I was like, this is my thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I saw that status and I didn't do anything, I would be regretting it. You know what I mean? I would be
Yeah.
sitting at my house being like, fuck, I should have said something. I should have done this,
Yep.
and I should have reached out, you know what I mean? I don't want to second guess anything. I always choose with my heart. And, for me, it's just like, if I know someone's going through a rough time, I want to try to be there for them, because like I would hate for that one last thing for me to just be like, if I only reached out to him, he may not have killed himself, or he may not have done this, or blah blah blah. Like, you never know what your last words are going to be with somebody. And I would just hate for it to just I'd hate for me to just say a bunch of shit online and not back it up with like video chatting or whatever. And so we chatted for a little bit, and he was just like, thank you so much for talking with me and all that stuff. He's like, I know you didn't have to, and I know you're busy. And I was just like, listen, I was like, friends come way before this channel. I was just like, I love doing this sort of stuff, but it's just like, I consider a lot of people doing audio addiction my family. Like, that's no joke. I legitimately give a shit about everybody. Like, if you're having a hard time, even if you're watching this and you're having a hard time, like, I feel free to let me know and I will video chat you. I do not give a shit. Like, even Sam was like, yo, you want a video chat right now? And now he's doing an interview with me. So I feel like if he's anybody to back, I feel like I have the perfect person to say that. But yeah, no, it's just like that's, and I think it kind of translates to what I do for audio addiction. Like, I genuinely give a shit about the music. I genuinely give a shit about the people behind the music, even more so. So for me, it's just like, just combine those two things. And that's what I loved about this record. And I'm not like, obviously I'll let you do your plug for your thing. But, that's why I genuinely was stoked on this record, because I know how important it is for you guys to have that. And I know we talked about it in the interview of like, being with, using that scene to the best ability you can, and to like grow it, and to have other people find out about, different artists and stuff. And that's just a great tool. And I'm glad you're utilizing it, in the best way. But like I had mentioned before, it's just like, for me, this audio addiction has always been about not how many subscribers I have, how much views I have. It's about the community I'm trying to build. That's the biggest takeaway for me, is just like, I want people to bond over the love of music. Not just, it doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter if you live in Japan or if you live in Mexico. This is something that brings us all together. And so that was something I wanted to build for audio addiction, was just like a bunch of people that care about music at the very first thing, and then care about the person, like obviously care about the person, but to follow that up, to care about what they do creatively, music, art, people who do like, all of the press stuff, or like managers, they deserve a lot of love. People who do, people who do the lightings for shows, people who do sound for shows. Like, there's just so many people that deserve a lot more time of day and maybe aren't given it. So I feel like, regardless of if you're a musician on this channel or you're a person that does more like press stuff, like behind the scenes stuff, I just want to show you the same amount of love regardless.
I get, and you've touched on a few things. Like, we've got sort of an official statement of what we did on this album. And you're talking about it, and we were talking about, no matter your social status, your identity, your state of being, or the location you call home, we're all kind of together in this. We're all humans. We're all living on this earth. And the three of us, because we did all of it: recording, mixing, mastering, performing. We do everything live with 0 tracks. We do all of our shit on our own. We decided to include 22 other people just on this album. We've got 3, 4, 5 more included in music videos and everything else.
Nice.
And our idea was, let's include everybody that we can in the scene, regardless of anything, because everybody has their own unique view. Everybody matters. We're three of us, and we've got 11 songs, 11 features, 11 visual
Yeah.
artists. We're in the same boat as you, where it's like, let's get everybody involved, because everybody matters.
Yeah.
We want to be there for everybody. We want to invoke a sense of community and a sense of I don't know,
Like involvement. You want to
involvement.
yeah, you want to have like you want it to be integral to your like your band. And
Yes.
so I appreciate that, and that, like I said, that was one of the major reasons why I was just stoked to have you guys back on, because when we were talking about it in the interview, I was just like, there was so many points where I was just like, this is so similar to my ethos and what I believe audio addiction should be. So, I feel like, I'm not a strong believer in fate, but I feel like in this instance, it's cool that it brought us together. But yeah, no, I really feel like it's a cool endeavor, and like I said, I really feel like in my heart of hearts, I'm not gonna ever stop doing this. Like, I feel like I take time off because, like I take time off to, recollect. It's not because like I'm just like for example, like the whole move thing. Like, I was able to take some time off and like kind of breathe and just be like, listen, audio addiction is still going to exist if you move. Like, just have things scheduled out. People will understand that. Like, you know what I mean? So, I think my thing is like, when I first started it, I thought it was just a sprint. Like, however much shit can I get out? Can I get it out, all the time? Can I get out like 3 videos out in one day? Can I, all this sort of stuff. And now I feel like I'm a little bit more seasoned, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do videos when I want to do them. I'm going to put them out at my pace, and apparently my pace is now 5 videos a week, which is bonkers. But
fucking crazy, dude.
But I feel like for me, it's like, I have the time now because of the whole situation. But also just because, like, I want people to check it out because they enjoy doing it. I want to see the passion. I want people to understand the passion behind what I do. And I think that's what drives me to continue to do stuff, is just like, I want people to know how much I care about this, not just because like, oh, it's on the internet, so you must care a lot about it. It's like, I want people genuinely to be like, I can see the passion, I can hear the passion in your voice behind it. And so, that's what allows me to continue doing it and not feel like incredibly burnt out. Yeah, are there certain days where I don't want to do a review? Absolutely. But I think generally, anything you need to do, it's always good to take healthy breaks. You know what I mean? I think that's the one thing that I think a lot of musicians and just people who do stuff that are really dedicated to it don't do. And that's why they get burnt out. And, I think a lot of people refer to it as YouTube fatigue. But, for me, it's like, I enjoy doing it, but I don't pressure myself to just be like, you got to put out this video this time, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. Like, I'm going to do it when I feel like it's right, and if I get to it in 2 days, that's fine, whatever. But I don't want to just feel like I'm half-assing it. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I'm giving it the proper time. So,
well, and that's again, you're just speaking to, like, we could have had this album done in a year, and we said, you know what? Let's take time. Let's find other people.
Do it right.
And do it right. Exactly. That's where we're at,
Yeah.
Like, we had multiple people turn us down. We had multiple people say yes, and then a month later get back to us and be like, actually, nah.
I'm
like,
out, fam. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, visual artists, vocal artists, all of that jazz, and we were like, no, we're gonna do it right. It took us an extra 12 months.
But I think it's worth it though. Like, when you hear the final product, and when it's the way you want it to be, that's such a great feeling. Like, so I got to give you props on that. Even though I have been this entire time, I feel like, even more so now, I got to give you the props.
No, it's true. I was listening to the second half of the album with my girlfriend earlier, and I was like, I was like skipping ahead through the songs to the parts where the features are, because I was like, these are the parts that are still new to me. These are the parts that
Feel fresh.
shine. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fresh. There's something to me, because I've heard a couple of these songs for like 2 years. I've played them.
Yeah.
I've written vocal parts to them. I've done all this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why are you skipping it?" I'm like, "Cause this is what like matters
This
to
is the
me."
important part. Yeah.
So
To me.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really stoked to put it out to people who've heard zero for 2 years. I'm personally, I'm
Respect.
just like, I'm
Respect.
like, shit. I'm stoked to be people like that part was sick, and I could be like, that was me, or
Yeah.
that was Dowdy, or that
Or
was
that was
Ben.
Ben. Yeah.
I can be like, oh, that was like, there are parts in it where I'm like, that was a reference to one of Ben's other bands while we were recording. We were doing some other shit at the same time, and I could be like, oh, you should check out this then. And I'm just,
It's just cool throwbacks, and I appreciate that. So I'm very
oh my god,
very stoked to listen to it. But we are fastly
I'm amazed.
approaching the 2 hour 2 hour mark. This video is gonna
Oh,
be fucking half a
yeah.
century long. So do you have
You
any
just
more
cut-
questions
cut
for
me
me,
out of it.
Sam? No, I won't
No,
cut you out of it.
I'm honestly like, I
You're
did
out
what I
of
thought I
question.
would do, and
You did a
I
great
thought
job.
we'd kind of stoke it up with our
We
own
did
stuff.
we did way stoke it up. I thought we were gonna stoke it up nearly as much, so I'm glad we got the content out. But I didn't want to seem like I'm forcing Sam to quit, but I feel like if we were gonna do it, it's gonna be a 3 hour long like podcast, and I'm gonna have to split it up into 2 episodes, and I'm like, your boy don't got time for that.
No, you don't need to do that shit. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, we're like the Joe Rogan experience and have like 3 hour long podcast episodes. So,
Yeah, right.
I know Sam's gonna have his time to plug real quick, but I wanted to give a shout out to Sam because honestly, I had asked him on the whip to do this, so I wanted to give him a lot of love just because like any band that I was gonna have to do this to interview me, I wanted to have them properly have the time to talk about their band. So just because I appreciate them taking the time to interview me, especially if they're not, familiar with the language of interviewing, I felt like Sam, did a fantastic job. So I gotta give him the salutes and that. So Sam, you could take it away, and then obviously I'll close it out.
My band is the Atlantis Theorem. We have this is the artwork for our first single, Free. We've got a couple more singles out. Our album will be out
Don't
soon.
say it. Just say
Yeah,
soon.
soon. It will be out soon. We are a 3-piece band. We involved 22 other people in guest vocals, guest instruments. We have artwork for every single song that this guy is about to see. So that's 11 songs, 11 guest musical features, 11 visual artists. We took an extra year and a half to do this, and are
Dying
amazingly excited
to get it out.
to share it with everybody. They're all Minnesota local, and
Close enough.
it's hard to not,
You gotta include it
convert.
all. Yeah.
And we really hope you check it out. It was an undertaking to do this, and we're so incredibly stoked to finally be able to share it with everybody because it's been so long in the works. Brandon Audio Addiction's been a fucking peach about it. He's got the record. He might do a review.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys.
All right, cool.
Doing it.
I don't know how else I can be like visibly excited
No,
about it. But
he's very excited.
Done,
And in their interview, you guys are like visibly like excited to get it out. I'm excited for everybody to listen to it. So go check out the Atlantis Theorem. I'm going to drop links because Sam's a gem and decided to do this 2 hour long interview with me. So I gotta give him the love. Also, small plug to me. I don't know if you guys could check that out.
Audio Addiction.
I have a merch store. It's down below. If you would like to purchase something, everything is currently on sale. Because also a coronavirus, which I was not planning on, but yeah, whatever. I know I accidentally said it, but whatever. We're 2 hours in, so who gives a shit? Who's gonna be watching? Who's gonna be watching this for the 2 hour slot? But
They're like, all right, they're two dudes. It's fine.
yeah, they were like at 1 hour 45 minutes, and they're like, yep, I've had enough. But go check that out. I have them all on sale. I originally had them on sale, and I will still be doing it. All of the proceeds will be going to NAMI, which is the National Association for Mental Health. So all of that will be going to NAMI, which originally it was supposed to go to Australia Relief, but I think Australia is doing pretty decent now. So I will be donating it all to NAMI, which is something I really believe in, a cause I believe in. I believe in, really good mental health, especially now during this unfortunate time. It's important to, check on your loved ones, but it's also important to check on your friends. People aren't going to really admit how they feel to other people. So if you have any issues, feel free to reach out to me.
1000% support that as somebody who maybe doesn't want to reach out, but needs to reach out. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like, I feel that. The vibes.
It's shitty to admit that maybe on a stream, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So please reach out to me and not Sam. That was the real takeaway.
Don't be me. It's fine. Or reach out to me. I'm a very helpful person.
Yeah, he is.
I will be there if you need me.
That wasn't a diss. So, but go if you want to buy some cool merch and you have some extra money. I know times are tough. So if you do have extra money, it will be going to a cause that is worthy of it. I am not taking a cent of that money. So,
yes.
So I'm very stoked to get that out. So if you can support that would be awesome. I do have a Patreon. I'm a little bit behind on it. People were asking me to do I'm not gonna even say it because I feel like that I'm gonna get a bunch of DMs to ask about it. You can just go check the Patreon. It is something that may require spicy things that I don't want to talk about. If you live locally, if you live locally, it's a little bit easier. If you live farther away, is way harder. So please live locally if you want to do that. But yeah, follow us on social media. There's links to it almost always in the description. Facebook is audioaddictionmedia, which you'll most likely be shared on here. Instagram is audioaddictionmedia. Twitter is audioaddiction_. I do have a TikTok. I don't use it, so who gives a shit about that. And then also YouTube. Please subscribe. It goes a long way. If you've enjoyed this 2 hour long interview, you deserve a medal. Please say, I'm trying to think of a code word we could use to close it out. Just type in Toodles in the comments. If you watched all 2 hours of this interview, please type Toodles in the comments. Do not skip ahead to the end and type Toodles in the comments if you didn't watch all 2 hours.
We will know.
I will know. I'll look at my watch time. Sam won't know. I'll know because I see the analytics. So don't think you fronting with me. But I'm very excited. I'll also announce the people that I'm going to be doing interviews with that will be posted. Shout outs to oh god, I'm gonna forget the name. Angela and Erica from Muddy Paw PR. They are fantastic. They were probably one of the first people that had got me into doing PR work with bands and stuff. So I gotta give them a major shout. It was very cool to have both of them on because they're both lovely people. They have never been interviewed before, and it was very cool to have them on to chat. I also interviewed I'm trying to think who else I interviewed. Shout out to my friend Nicole. She's a New Jersey photographer. She also works for Soundbites Media. She's fantastic. If you live in the tri-state area, please hire her. She is awesome. Also, I did a sick interview with Becky from Big Picture Media, and I will also be doing a few others from Big Picture Media as well, which I'm very stoked on as well. I did one with Finn McKenty of Punk Rock MBA, a pretty prolific YouTuber. Go check his stuff out. He's fantastic as well. I'm very stoked to have him on. That was the one time I felt a little bit starstruck, so I was very stoked on that. Also, there is definitely Ollie from Scare Management. He's he manages Of Virtue, and Scare Management also does like For the Fallen Dreams, like some really large acts. I'm hoping to get Scare Management as a whole on, because they've worked with like Dance Gavin Dance, all this sort of stuff, very big acts, which I'm very stoked on. Shout outs to my friend Chris. He does 807 Artist Management. I'm pretty sure it's 805. I don't remember the numbering. Sorry, Chris. He does awesome work too. Very stoked on that. I'm trying to think who else. Now, wow, I'm just like really gonna be blanking right now. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna look on here real quick so I don't look like a dummy. And
the point is, if nothing else, support this guy right here. Support Brandon. He's a dude who fucking cares. You know, we're from Minneapolis. He's from New Jersey, and he's just out in it to get it. You know what I mean? He wants to help the little guy. He wants to shine light on the people who are maybe in the background, the people who deserve some credit, but maybe don't get it because of how good a job they do.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like, this dude is in it to win it, and I fucking appreciate what he does, even if I make nothing of myself. Like, he's a damn gem. It's that simple.
Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate the kind words. Like I said, it's all about for the music. I love everybody that does this. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have the support that I get from not only bands but press and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get on Adam Splitter PR. There's somebody, they work with like ABR. They work with a lot of Fearless bands. Work with a lot of Rise bands. Gonna try to get them on. And then Secret Service, gonna try to get him on. Austin, he does a fantastic job. He does a lot of different stuff too. So trying to get a bunch of different people, photographers, managers, everything. So if you do behind the scenes work and you are not camera shy, let's fucking get it. Please email me, please DM me on social media. I'd love to have you on. I would really love to have record label people on. I think that would be really fantastic. Nicholas Moore, I'm looking at you. I'd love to have you on. Chelsea from Famine. Let's do it. I know we've been in chats to do it. Let's do it. Bradley from New Fury. Let's go. Come on, dude. These are people that I want to have on because I love what they do and I am so appreciative of their work. So I want to get them on ASAP Rocky. So please go check them out. And also, if you enjoyed this interview of me, thanks to Sam, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share it. Now, you did a great job, Sam. Gotta give you the props. Also, the Instagram live's closing out again. So thank you guys for checking this out. I love you so much. It means the absolute world that you would care to watch this 2-hour-long interview. Please, if you do watch the whole thing, that's awesome. I would cry if you watched the whole thing just because I feel like there's so much shit we talked about. So, if you can just meal your way through the entire thing, I'm very proud of you.
Don't forget to comment toodles.
Don't forget to comment toodles if you watch the whole 2 hours. But thank you to my interviewer, Sam. Go check out the Atlantis Theorem, as I mentioned. Links are below. Go check out their new record when it comes out. It's going to be a banger. I'm very stoked to listen to it. And again, go support this dude and his band. Fantastic person and love you long time. So go check out his stuff, and thank you guys for watching the inaugural episode of Backstage Press. Hopefully you guys will watch the rest of it. And I'm very stoked to get all of these out to you, and hopefully you'll find it informational. That's the most important thing. So thank you guys for watching. Talking to you soon. Thank you, Sam.
I'll see you soon.